The 6 most disturbing mysteries solved with Google Maps. Man, Google Maps always creep me out. So the fact that Chillin' Scares made a video with Google Maps is scary enough. Let's go.
At around 1 p.m. on November 2nd, 2020, an 83-year-old mother of 4 named Paulette Landrieux mysteriously disappeared from her home in Anden, Belgium. At the time, her
And where would she go at 83? Where the hell would she walk to? Where the hell would she go-kart to? Where the hell would she wheelchair to? It's already spooky. Yeah.
husband was hanging the laundry up to dry in the garden and didn't notice she was gone until later that afternoon.
In 2020?
When Paulette's family realized she was missing, they reported the disappearance to the police, triggering a pretty big search for the missing woman. Though this wasn't the first time Paulette disappeared, as she reportedly suffered from Alzheimer's disease and would frequently leave the house at random times of the day and night without telling her husband where she was going. She was known to randomly knock on the neighbors' doors for no apparent reason, and in the years leading up to her disappearance, she no longer recognized her children or her husband.
Yeah.
Every other time she had disappeared, her husband would find her a few feet away from the house and bring her back inside. But this time, she was nowhere to be found. During the search, 50 police officers and several search and rescue dogs were deployed to the area, along with multiple thermal vision helicopters and an entire fleet of drones. But even with all these resources at their disposal, the local police department failed to find any relevant clues leading to Paulette. After several weeks, the search was called off, and the family assumed that she had fallen into the Meuse River, which ran near her home. In October of 2022, just as the police department was about to close the file, one investigator was searching for Paulette's house on Google Street View and found something shocking. There, as luck would have it, he found a Street View image of Paulette leaving her home and crossing the street to her neighbor's house. The case was immediately reopened, and police were once again deployed to the area, where they found the body of Paulette lying at the bottom of a hill directly below the neighbor's garden. After the autopsy was performed, it was determined that the woman had fallen from an unenclosed section of the garden and died shortly after. Her final moments eerily being caught by the passing Google Street View car as she walks to her death, likely in another wave of confused state caused by her Alzheimer's disease. One thing that's hard to understand is how the
Bro, this is the same image that I had of Google Maps as a kid. Bro, how is it that cops are not finding who the killer was? How does it take these government officials and police officers so long to figure out cases when we have Google Maps? This is literally your job. This is what you do. That's like you're a basketball player and you're not playing basketball. Basketball is not your job. That's the shit that always used to spark my attention. Like, bro, this Google Map, like, where the hell is the satellites, or what is looking at us from up there to get all of this? Like, are people taking pictures of the street and having different view? Like, no, that can't be. It gotta be an easier way. And they used to spook the shit out of me, bro. Look at that. Found out that she fell from a high place, died right after. My goodness. And yeah, Candy, Alzheimer's is like dementia. Being forgetful at old age.
police failed to see her with their drones and helicopters the first time, but at least now the family can find closure knowing what happened to Paulette, even if it comes with this eerie last image of her ever being seen alive.
Goodness.
If you visit the location on Google Maps today, you'll find the image has been overwritten by a more up-to-date view of the town.
Oh, I bet.
In July 2011, two armed individuals broke into an empty house in an otherwise peaceful suburb of Oklahoma City. With a house full of valuables for them to steal and nobody there to stop them, the two got to work. But unfortunately for them, the looting spree was much more short-lived than they had hoped. A few minutes later, the homeowner returned and walked in on the two of them looting her house.
Oh no.
But instead of fleeing with the valuables they had already stolen, they held her at gunpoint as they continued to ransack her home. This went on for over an hour, and during the traumatizing incident, the woman recalled thinking they were going to shoot her before leaving. Fortunately, the robbers eventually left the house without physically harming the woman. After the armed robbery, she refused to reveal her identity to the press out of fear that the thieves would retaliate.
Wow.
The woman later reported the incident to the cops, but with no witnesses and an absence of solid leads, the case eventually went cold, and the woman lost hope that the two criminals would ever be found. However, 3 years later, the case took an unexpected turn. On a day in July 2014, the woman's neighbor was looking at her street using Google Maps Street View when she noticed an image of two men casually strolling down the street who perfectly matched the description the victim had given her of the criminals.
Oh, Lord.
Immediately, she texted the woman, who confirmed that the two men...
Wait, stop. So in 2014, 3 years later, the images from Google Maps haven't been updated? Really? You want me to believe that? And they just strolling in the middle of the street, cruising, after they had your ass at gunpoint in the suburbs of Oklahoma. These surveillance things be tricky, dude.
Men captured by the Street View van that happened to be mapping out the neighborhood on the day of the robbery were indeed the same two men who had robbed her. Based on the direction they were walking, it seems that the image was captured in the minutes leading up to the crime. Unfortunately, because the two men's faces are obscured by the grainy quality of the image and Google's software that automatically blurs pedestrians, the cops haven't been able to track the men down. But with a string of clues and a picture to add to their search, police now have a much better chance of catching the two thanks to Google Maps. One night in October 2006, a 72-year-old man named David Lee Niles met up with a friend at Jake's Bar in Byrontown, Michigan. This was a place that David visited frequently and usually stayed there for at least a couple of hours, but on that particular evening, the story was very different. Earlier that year, David had been diagnosed with cancer, and after a brief conversation with his friend, he left abruptly, claiming that he was in a lot of physical pain due to the cancer. That was the last time anyone ever saw him.
Oh no.
When his family failed to get in touch with him, they reported him missing to the police, leading to a statewide search that ultimately led nowhere, as the cops couldn't find any clues as to where David could have gone. In 2000...
Oh, look at the street. Look at the street cameras. Hello? Come on, man. Y'all don't want to do y'all job. But what if it was y'all's uncle, y'all's grandpa? Y'all pulling all the strings to get it solved. Come on, man.
2011, 5 years after his disappearance, his family lost hope and accepted the idea that David was gone. The obituary they published online read, David Lee Niles, age 72 of Wyoming, passed away and only God knows the time and place. The case went completely cold until almost a decade later when a new twist shed light on David's disappearance. One morning in November 2015, Brian Hausman, an employee of the Cook Funeral Home in Byron County, was decorating the company Christmas tree outside. When he got to the top of the tree on his lift to put up the star, he noticed something in the adjacent pond that looked like a submerged car. Immediately, he called the police, and using Google Maps from a bird's eye view, they were able to see the same outline that was described.
No. That's SpongeBob. No, guys. That's SpongeBob. That's not his car. That's SpongeBob. Okay, not funny. But hold on. He looked where? He looked up at the tree while he was decorating it and did what?
Brian Hausman, an employee of the Cook Funeral Home in Byron County, was decorating the company Christmas tree outside. Okay. When he got to the top of the tree on his lift to put up the star, he noticed something in the adjacent pond that...
So he was up at the top of the tree, putting a star on it, and then he probably looked to his left or looked to his right where the pond was, and then, okay, got it.
Looked like a submerged car.
Okay.
Immediately, he called the police, and using Google Maps from a bird's eye view, they were able to see the same outline that was described. A dive team was deployed to the area, who confirmed that there was in fact a car at the bottom of the pond. Later that morning, a wrecking crew pulled out the vehicle for the police to inspect. Inside the vehicle, the cops found the skeletal remains of a man, along with a wallet belonging to David Lee Niles. After it was confirmed that the skeletal remains were his, David's family members finally found some closure. Still, the case remains a mystery, as it's unknown what exactly happened to him.
After 10
Even before his
years.
cancer diagnosis, David was known to have severe depressive episodes, and things understandably got a lot worse for him after he found out about the illness. With all this in mind, it's possible that he took his own life, but we'll likely never know for sure.
Yeah. Damn. R.I.P. Dave.
In the 80s and 90s, Gioacchino Gamino was one of Italy's most wanted gangsters. He operated within a Sicilian mafia clan in Agrigento that was embroiled in a feud with Cosa Nostra, Sicily's main mafia network. He was first arrested in 1984 for murder and various other mafia-related crimes, but was later released shortly after.
Now, if you get locked up in 1980, if you get locked up in 1990 and back, even if you didn't do it, you still gonna be in that jam for a minute, like decades a minute. In this day and age, like 2005 and upward, if you got charged, of course it still happens, but if you got charged for something that you didn't do, you got wrongfully accused or charged, maybe 5, maybe 10, you know what I mean? Which is still better than having 30 to life. Getting the chair, you know what I mean? Getting electrocuted on a chair. It's tough.
1998, he was arrested again in Barcelona, only this time he was sentenced to life in prison.
See?
After serving 4 years of his prison sentence at a prison in Rome, he managed to escape in 2002 during a commotion at the prison.
So 20 years later,
following
like
his
15...
escape, he immediately relocated to a town near Madrid, Spain, and changed his name to Manuel Mormino.
Wow.
Over the 20 years that he was on the run from the police, he got married, worked as a chef at a restaurant called Manu's Kitchen, and even opened up a fruit and vegetable shop called Manu's Garden. Sicilian police searched everywhere for him for years, and they eventually issued a European arrest warrant back in 2014.
He probably went bald. He probably changed his facial features up.
After carrying out several investigations, the police suspected that Gamino was hiding somewhere in Spain, but the way they pinpointed his exact location was pretty out of the ordinary. During the investigation, Sicilian police found that Google Maps had captured a street view image of two men talking outside of Manu's garden. One of the men looked extremely similar to the man they were looking for, but the cops only confirmed his identity when they came across the listing for Manu's Kitchen, the restaurant where Gamino worked.
And that's also why these dumbass criminals, the ones who really want to be criminals, but they don't educate themselves, their tattoos give it away. So they get the dumbest, stupidest tattoos in the dumbest, stupidest places, and it's easily markable. Like, it's easily addressable that I see your tattoo on your neck. Which way the lion is, which way the star is, whatever the basketball, the Bible verse, the scripture you got on the side of your neck, nigga. We know it's you. Change your name, go overseas, work for an airline, be a trash man, be a janitor. All of a sudden, it don't matter, nigga. We know it's you. We know it's you, okay? But
while investigating online, the police found a photo of him dressed in chef's attire on the Facebook page for Manu's Kitchen.
Facebook!
After confirming his location, the police arrested Gioacchino Gamino on December 17th, 2022, and extradited him to Sicily, where he is currently serving life in prison.
Now he's really serving life. And now he's going to be under a different microscope because he already escaped once.
According to the police, when they arrested him, Gamino was extremely confused and even had the nerve to ask how they found him when he hadn't even called his family in 10 years. In 2009, police from Zurich, Switzerland were carrying out an investigation to shut down illegal marijuana growing operations all over the country. At some point in the investigation, they used Google Earth to locate the addresses of two farmers who they suspected of being part of an illegal marijuana operation.
Google Earth, look at that.
And that's when one of the detectives found something interesting. As he was scanning the area on Google Earth, he noticed an unusual change in the pattern of the fields around Rapperswil in the northeastern state of Thurgau. Zooming in, he saw what appeared to be a cannabis plantation that measured more than 2 acres and was hidden inside a cornfield right next to one of the farmers' houses. The Google Earth discovery ultimately led to the arrest of 16 people and the seizure of 1.1 metric tons of marijuana, as well as...
Oh my God. We smoking chimneys, bitch.
900,000 Swiss francs in cash, which is the equivalent of around $1.1 million.
Oh my God!
According to the police report, the drug ring allegedly sold up to 7 tons of marijuana between 2004 and 2008, bringing in from 3 to 10 million francs a year.
Oh my God, bro! Oh shit! Oh my God! Wait! Bringing in how much? That's in francs. So $1 USD is like $1.20 Canadian dollars. Okay? Francs, he said they was bringing $3 to $5 million a year annually. Bro, that's pushing 10 mil USD annually. And this is unmarked money. This shit is damn near, well, until they got caught, but this shit is damn near untraceable, untaxable. Because they're probably selling it to other companies, other farms, you know? What? Oh my God, dog. Look, I'm gonna tell. Let me not incriminate. Shit. Let me retract that real quick. Okay. I'll put it to you like this. Shit, hold on. I don't know. Damn, I don't know. My goddamn, with the goddamn. No, I don't partake in any illegal activities, 100,000%. But I study, so I know how this shit work. All right, I'll say it like this. It's only an issue in any given aspect in the world. It's only an issue when the government, when Uncle Samson and Uncle Jimmy is not getting their cut. That's the only time it's an issue. That's the only time. So off of 3 to 5 million francs a year? Uncle Sam and Timothy not seeing nothing? Oh, yeah. All 16 of them, 10 plus years, 30 plus years in jail.
When asked about the breakthrough, the head of Zurich Police's Special Narcotics Unit, Norbert Glossner, said it was an interesting chance discovery. Since then, the cannabis plantation has been plowed over as...
Like, how could you ever know this? This is most likely their land. They bought it. But they hid it behind the original sugarcane or cotton farm. You know what I mean? They had that bitch right in the cut, right in the middle.
As recreational marijuana continues to be illegal in Switzerland.
All because of them, probably.
This incident happened at a home in Derbyshire, England, where David and Rebecca Soanes lived with their 2 children, Lauren and Ruben.
Okay.
In 2009, the family bought a caravan to travel across the country, but it was unfortunately destroyed shortly after when a joyrider crashed into it.
Oh, no.
A few months later, they
got a KFC in England? That's disgusting.
Bought a new $15,000 caravan to replace the old one, which they left in their driveway.
Wait, what?
$15,000 caravan to replace the old one, which they left in their driveway. In June of that year, Rebecca came home one day to find the caravan had disappeared, after which she immediately reported the incident to the police. However, with no solid leads, the cops couldn't really do anything about it, and the case went cold pretty quickly. It wasn't until 9 months later, in March of 2010, that 11-year-old Ruben Soanes found something revealing as he was looking at his house on Google Maps.
Bro, who is going to Google Maps this quick? Hey, type 1 if y'all been on Google Maps in the past 3 years. Type 2 if y'all have not. Who the f is going on Google Maps this goddamn quick? Candy! Every day she say, okay. Every day she on it. Okay. I see what's going on here. Okay.
the street view, he found an image of a male intruder on the family's driveway,
Who the
standing
hell is
suspiciously
you?
outside of his 4x4
You
vehicle.
gotta take a piss.
After a bit of investigating, the family found that the image had been captured by the Google Street View car just moments before the caravan was stolen. Around that time, a neighbor also came forward saying that he had seen the same man towing the caravan on the day of the robbery, but thought that it was a family friend and didn't think it was important to tell the family about it. With such a clear image of the suspect, the Soans thought it would be easy for the cops to solve the crime, but it turned out to be much more difficult than expected to get an unblurred image of the 4x4's license plates from Google. Even though the police knew exactly what the thief looked like, it was never publicly confirmed if they managed to track him down or not.
Oh my god. I love this channel, bro. I love this channel so much. Shout out to the dude who runs this channel. We don't know what the hell he looks like, but guess what? He is a multi-millionaire from these videos. Multi-millionaire. Nobody knows what he looks like. He probably somewhere in Brazil, in Italy, making these videos, studying this shit, putting the clips together, doing the voiceovers. Or nowadays, the voiceovers can be AI automated. Shout out to him, man.